Welcome to today's video. Today's video we're going to be talking about the news, which is the drop in the electric car grant, differences to luxury car tax, and what this is going to mean for the electric car used market as well as new. So if you've heard the news, the Chancellor in the UK, we have a budget here in the UK, and that budget sets out the government spending of what's going to happen. Now I'd like to say this is quite a progressive electric sort of environmental placed government this year, and they seem to be doing quite a lot of things pro-environment, which is shocking me because I didn't think they would. Anyway, let's not get political. We don't want to get bogged down with political information. They've changed some stuff with the electric car plug-in grant. So here in the UK, we used to have a grant that was about £5,000 and it got reduced to £3,500, and again it's been reduced again to £3,000. Now you might go, that's a reduction of £500, but many people were staking that the grant was going to disappear altogether and we'd get zero grant. It was up for renew this month, but they've renewed the grant for £3,000, and they've also extended its end of life, so it's going to now run out at a longer date than it was originally going to, which was pretty much this week. So grant's been extended, it's been dropped to £3,000. If you're watching this video, it's already dropped to £3,000. It's too late to get the £3,500 grant. If you had an existing UK order before, hold on, what's the date today? So if you had an existing order prior to the 11th of March at 11:59 p.m. at night, you're entitled to the full £3,500 grant as long as your dealer submitted the forms. So if you have a dealer that didn't submit the forms on your order, and your car will not get the full £3,500 grant, and in which case I'd say to that dealer, it's your fault, you didn't put the forms in, I want you to cover it. But good luck with that one. But dealers that I know, progressive dealers, they had their admin teams running non-stop, making sure that all the grants for their pre-orders were already in. So if the order was already in and the grant form was submitted, you should get the full £3,500 grant. But if the order was after that date, you will only get £3,000. That's not the only change with the grant. So the other change with the grant is now any cars above £50,000 list price. So list price means the price before dealer negotiation. So if the dealer sells you the car for £49,000 but the list price is 50, you will no longer receive the grant. So any car over the price of £50,000 will no longer receive any grant, so you won't get any money, no free grant at all. Before you used to get the full £3,500 regardless of the price of the car. Now anything over 50 grand will no longer get the grant. But there is a caveat to this, which is the government of scrapping luxury car tax. Now in the past, any vehicle costing over £40,000 paid £320 per year road fund licence, that's tax. And it was counted as luxury car tax, and this applied to all vehicles over £40,000, even electric cars. And that means that if you bought a Tesla Model 3, that's an over £40,000 list price, you'd pay £320 per month on your road tax from year 2 for the first 5 years. That has now been scrapped. And some great news, if you've already got a Tesla Model 3 and you were thinking you were about to pay your £300 road tax, luxury road tax, guess what? As of the 1st of April, you will no longer, it'd be the 5th of April because it's a tax year. As of the 5th of April, you will no longer pay luxury road tax on your Tesla. So if you've already got a luxury road tax classing vehicle, so a car that was over £40,000 list, you will no longer pay luxury road tax from April onwards. So some great news, you just earned yourself some money back. Now there's going to be some issues that this is going to cause on the used car market. Now before I go into the effects it's going to cause on the used car market, can I ask you to go down the bottom and click that subscribe button, and there's a notification bell next to it. If you click that, you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded, and I've got some really exciting content and car reviews coming up soon. Now, used car market, as probably you can tell, I'm in a used car showroom. My background is selling used vehicles, so the used car market to me is particularly important to my living. and I follow this very, very keenly. Now, the last time that the government dropped the UK car grant, used values of electric cars all went up because everyone realised that they're going to have to pay more for a new one, and therefore that affected the used car prices. Now, this wasn't an instant effect, but it was an effect, and it will happen very slightly because it's only a £500 drop in grant, but it will have a slight effect on the used car market, but a tiny one because it's only £500. However, where this issue will really cause cars to go up is cars between £40,000 and £50,000. They've suddenly, if you already had one, just got cheaper if you have a used one. So you've already had the £3,500 grant, and you've just lost £320 a year road tax off your car. So would you buy looking at the used car market, if you've got a £40,000 one, you're just saving £320 a year for your car for the future. So if you've already ordered one and it's not arrived yet, you've already got a Tesla in, they've already ordered, they've put the grant information in, it arrives next month, you've just made a nice little saving in your car, and a very good possibility that you could literally sell it the next day for exactly what you paid for it, for exactly what Tesla sold it for. Now, if you've got a Model 3 Performance, for example, which costs 52 grand, your car has just got £3,000 cheaper than it will cost me if I wanted to buy it. So if I want to go and buy a Model 3 Performance, it's just gone up £3,500 for me because there's no grant on it. So you could literally, before I'd done a video about Model 3s and how the second-hand prices of Model 3s are overly exaggerated. If you haven't seen that video, top right. But if you've got a Model 3 Performance and it's about to be delivered and it's brand new and you wish to sell it immediately for £1,000 profit, you actually could. And I've always said second-hand Model 3s are not worth more than what you pay Tesla. Well, guess what? If you've got a Model 3 Performance, it is now worth more second-hand if you sell it immediately. So if you want £1,000 quick profit, list it up, more than likely you'll get it. However, there is another small caveat, and that small caveat is you're hoping that Tesla aren't going to reduce the vehicle. Now, the reason I say this is Renault, for example, the Renault Zoe, the new GT line, ZE50, which I'll be reviewing very shortly, and there'll be a video up on that as soon as I get it all done, edited and etc. But will be a video coming on that very, very shortly. That has obviously had a grant drop of 500 quid. So it's gone from 3,500 to 3,000. Renault have already said that they will supplement £500 from the price of the Renault Zoe into that. So if you are after the grant, the price should be exactly the same as it was Thursday as it will be on Friday or Saturday. So Renault have promised that they will supplement that from their own money to top the £500 up. And that is a limited time offer which they are currently doing, and more than likely it will be extended. But they are calling it a limited time offer because they want you to get your sales orders in, but it will probably remain there for quite some time. Tesla, however, obviously haven't updated their website and are still showing a £3,500 plug-in grant on a £52,000 car, but Tesla are more than likely to supplement that vehicle price down, and that is me taking a bet. I honestly don't think they will very quickly, but I think if they see a slump in sales on the Performance Model 3, they will more than likely drop it £3,000. And why? Well, because that Performance model cost them exactly the same to make as the model before it. That cost 10 grand less, and they'd rather you have the Performance and upgrade it and spend more money on colours and options and stuff like that, which you tend to do if you're buying a Performance model. Thank you very much for watching this week's video. I hope you found it extremely informative. Let me know if it's going to affect your car purchasing decision on an electric car down below, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks very much for watching this week's video, and goodbye.